Hey guys, this is Miss Sarah. I'm back with my next lesson. So today we have 9-3. This is about geometric sequence. Geometric sequence. So a few more concepts about geometric sequence. So as you guys remember, we talked about explicit rule in the last video. So if you really don't understand what geometric sequence is, so please, I would really recommend you going back and checking out those videos first. Anyways, I can do a quick review. Geometric sequences when numbers are actually getting multiplied or divided by a common ratio. So like I have 2, I would say 6. 6 getting multiplied by 3 makes 18, and then so on. All right, that's geometric. So how to find the ratio? So I hope you remember you can take second term, divide by the first term. That's how we find the ratio. Or you can take any successive term and divide by term before. That's how we find ratio. So ratio has to be same in order to determine if it's geometric or not. All right. Anyways, today we have few more concepts about geometric sequence. So the first one we're going to be learning about is geometric mean. Just like arithmetic mean, we have geometric mean. So I'm going to show you a geometric sequence first, and then we'll try understanding the pattern from there. So let's say my geometric sequence is something like this. 5, I have 10, I have 20, 40, and so on. Let's try understanding a pattern. If I take this term, and if I multiply, this becomes 100. How would you go from 100 to 10? You can take square root. Here you go. And that would be my geometric mean. Let's try with two different terms. If I take 10 and 40, multiply, becomes 400. Take square root, that would be the middle term. Here you go. And that's the idea. In order to find geometric mean, you have to take the first term, let's just say it's A, multiply by the second term, let's just say it's B, and take square root. That's how we find the mean. Okay, all right, let me show you another example. Let's say I have, my first term is 48. This term is missing, and this is 3. Let's just say, I'm just going to use those symbols because you might see those symbols for your problems on your homework assignment. This is term before, I would say n minus 1. This is term after, which is n plus 1. If I ask you for the middle term, which is an, how would you find that? It's just finding the mean. So I would multiply these two, which makes 144. And in order to find the middle term, I would take square root, and this is 12. Here you go. Let me show you one more example. Let's say I have first term as 10. Then I have 3 missing terms in between these two. And if I ask you to find the middle term, how would you do that? All right, same idea. I'll take these two, multiply, and this is how I'm going to find the middle term. So 10 times 810 becomes 8100. If I take square root, I know this is going to be my middle term. And once I have that one, pretty much I can just follow the same idea of geometric mean. I would multiply these two. 10 and 90 becomes 900 square root, so this is going to be 30. Same thing for these ones. If I multiply these, it's going to be 270. So that's how we do geometric mean. All right, so now here comes my next concept. This is about recursive rule. Again, first you need to understand explicit rule. So again, you can go back and check out old videos about this. But anyways, quick review. So explicit rule is when you know first few terms of a sequence, and if I ask you for a term farther away from these, that's when we use explicit rule, this one here. But for recursive rule, I would say recursive rule is more like, trust me, it is common sense. Okay, how do we use recursive rule? So let's say I have my first term as 2, second term 6, and then 12. If I ask you for the next term, can we do that? Yeah, pretty obvious, because if I know the ratio, which is, okay, I can take the second term, divide by the first, it's 3. Oh, my bad. It's not 12. It's not 12. It's not 12, it's 18. My bad. Yeah, so okay, if I take 18 divided by 6, that's still going to be 3. So it means it is geometric sequence. If I ask you to find the next term, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply by another 3, and this is how I'm going to find my next term. Here you go. That is whatever we have just done here. It's a recursive rule. So what I did is, in order to find the nth term, what I did, I took a term before, and I just multiply by the ratio. Here you go. That's one way to apply recursive rule. There could be another example, like, let's say instead of having terms before, you have terms after. Like, okay, this is missing, this is 9, and this is 18. If I ask you for term before, are we still multiplying? No, we are not. It's going to be opposite of that, which is dividing. But first I have to have the ratio of that sequence. So 18 divided by 9, that's 2. So it means the ratio is 2. So in order to find term before, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 9 divide by 2. So I know this is going to be 4/5. So another way to use the recursive rule is I use term after. So I would do n plus 1. Instead of multiplying by the ratio, I would divide by the ratio. That's just another way to use recursive rule. All right, let me show you a few examples on this. So let's say I have the 9th term of a sequence is 18 and the ratio is 3/2. And my question to you guys is to solve for 10th term. All right. 10th term is a term after 9th term. So in order to move forward, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 9th term, which is 18, and I would just multiply by the ratio, and that's how I'm going to find the 10th term. So if I multiply straight across, or I can just cross cancel, my answer is, here you go. I'm moving forward, so I would multiply by the ratio. But let's say, okay, I still have my 9th term as 18. Ratio is 3/2. Okay, this time my question is to solve for the 8th term. We are working backwards. Are we still multiplying? No, we are dividing by the ratio. So I'll take this term, which is 18, divide by the ratio, which is 3/2, or I can say 18 multiplied by the reciprocal of 3/2, which is 2/3. Multiply straight across or cross cancel, my answer would be 12. There you go. And this is pretty much all. So we have talked about two different things. We talked about recursive rule and we talked about geometric mean. So that's pretty much all for today. And thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye, guys.